Hey guys, welcome to the 26th episode of the Learning Podcast. And if you aren't sure, it's a Singaporean podcast dedicated to learning something new from every single guest on the show. Today, I have a friend I met through LinkedIn. His name is Jeremiah. Jeremiah, thanks so much for coming all the way here.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
A couple of reasons why I think this conversation will be helpful. Jeremiah, I would say, is a veteran in the video production agency world. He founded his own video production agency called CVP Group. I don't
Try.
Cinema Verite?
Close enough.
How do you pronounce
Cinema Verite.
Cinema Verite Pictures. So this production house, right, essentially it has produced a lot of videos for very, very big companies, okay? I even took the time to write it down. Lazada, Harvey Davidson, DBS, UOB, Circles.Life, Standard Chartered Bank, Huawei, Foodpanda, HSBC, and definitely I feel that you would say that it's perhaps the dream of videographers to work with all these kind of very big brands. I know that you have gone in your journey of being a freelance editor, working for what I would say like small game in a sense, all the way to making videos for all these kind of big production companies. And I think there's a lot of things that I want to learn about. More particularly, I'm interested more in like client management. The differences you see when you work with all these kind of big brands versus when you just started out. I think that conversation is quite helpful because when it comes to working with all these kind of big companies, right, it seems to me like it's like a closed door in a sense. Like young amateurs like me, right, like entry-level people like don't really know what happened at the laoban, the big boss level. Okay. So I think this conversation will be very helpful because you are the direct liaison with all these kind of very big companies as well. Another reason why I think this conversation will be helpful is that Jeremiah is a teacher. He's currently a teacher at do I say Med School?
Yeah, Med School.
Med School by Chatsworth Media Art Academy. So he teaches content marketing and creation storytelling.
So creative storytelling.
Creative storytelling. Sorry. I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned. So take this as like a mini lecture, you would say, on content marketing, because I think content marketing to me is something very interesting as well, and I'm always learning about it. And I want to be able to perhaps ask your advice on how can I do better content marketing myself, because it's more of really me learning from you who has so much experience. I'm really just like a person who has started out in my journey, right? But this guy has like over 5-7 years of experience in the industry. So there's a lot of things I'll learn from him. This podcast will be slightly shorter, but I hope to be able to get as much value out of it. Jeremiah, for those listeners that don't know who you are, could you give a quick introduction about yourself?
Okay, well, thank you so much for inviting me on this podcast.
Thanks for coming.
Experienced, no lah. I still think that I have like light years worth of knowledge acquisition to do before I can be experienced. But in terms of whatever I've gone through so far, okay lah, I would say I have some war stories to tell, war scars,
battle scars.
Yeah,
right?
battle scars and all that. But I don't know. I'll stay humble in this, cause I'm.
No, it's not about staying humble. It's about learning from you.
Wow, the way you say until like
no. But on
okay.
a day-to-day basis, can you just share with us, let's say, the inception of CVP Group?
Okay, so it all started in 2008.
Wow, like a financial crisis, is it?
No.
Is it?
No. 2008, I actually joined MediaCorp, on-air promotions for Channel 5. I was basically like the on-air editor.
Wow.
So all of your 30-seconders, your movie, in your Mega Monday movie, that kind of thing. I'm not the voiceover, but I was the one who pieced all the ads together.
That's cool.
So my job really was to watch a 2-hour film and then create a teaser, either a 15-seconder or a 30-seconder promo to entice people to watch all of these videos itself. So I started my journey from there, and then after a while, can I say this? There is a saying. There is a saying that MediaCorp is a place to learn everything not to do.
Okay. That's a nice perspective.
Back then, 10 years ago, it wasn't a place for growth.
Okay.
It was a place where creativity went to die, because being the only broadcaster in Singapore, they had the handle of everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what
you know what I mean. I don't know when you're gonna add that into the video, but
okay.
I mean, I'm not dissing MediaCorp. MediaCorp made me the person I am, So, but then because as digital started to be more prevalent, mainstream media, TV started to die down in terms of viewership and engagement, because things like Click Network, back then SGAG, all these TSL, all these smaller independent creative broadcast platforms started to fart and started to 创意, started to prosper and blossom.
How long were you at MediaCorp for? Like
2 years.
2 years. So that's 2008 to 2010.
Yes.
After that, was it then where you started? Was it like the frustrations of, you would say, the traditional industry had that really spurred you to do what you want?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was talking about where creativity went to die, right?
Yeah.
So I actually left MediaCorp. One
direct.
thing.
Okay,
I mean, it is what it is.
Okay.
Now maybe it's better because of Toggle and all these other digital initiatives. But then I left to freelance. So after I left, I actually worked on a 6-month Channel U program called Chuang, helmed by this very prolific director called Philip Lim. I'm still in contact with him. He was the director who did a Teenage Textbook and Ex-Losers right now, which is in season 3 on Toggle itself. I did a 6-month stint as an associate producer and then learning different things along the line in this 6-month period, being an assistant director, producing, being a production assistant on set. So it was really all about doing the, not nice word but doing all the saikang, all the shit jobs. But that actually crafted my character, It made me understand different aspects of production. From being a production on set, a production assistant on set, really just being a waiter, bringing drinks, setting the table.
Umbrella for actors.
Yeah. Literally being an umbrella, for Desmond Tan just holding the umbrella, or Rebecca Lim, just holding the umbrella. But that actually exposed me to different aspects of production. So not just on-air editing when I was in MediaCorp. So from that experience, I went on to do different things. I was like the production assistant for Boys to Men. First, Boys to Men.
Okay, wow.
Before I came out with a franchise of like 20.
Okay.
And then I drove Mr. New around. He's actually a very nice dude.
That's nice to hear.
Interacted. And because of that, it exposed me to a different form of production. So MediaCorp was on-air productions, right? So it's like broadcast. And then Channel U was long form series content, 13 episodes. And then Boys to Men was long form, but then feature films. So I got a lot of experience. Then I went on to work with the Moving Visuals that did a lot of documentaries, long form documentaries. And then I went on to Abundant Productions. Now I'm going to specifically mention Abundant Productions Ben Xiao because this was the company that I worked with that actually spurred me to start my own company. So Abundant Productions is I would say a video production house creating content for on-air. So your TVCs, your TV commercials, your social media advertising videos and stuff like that. So back then when I joined Abundant Productions, there was only 5 of us.
It's a small team.
Small team. But out of the 5 of us, 4 of us went on to start our own companies.
Oh,
because Ben Xiao, yo, shout out Ben Xiao. Ben Xiao, he was the owner and founder of Abundant Productions. He was very, very mentoring. He was very, very giving, in the way he brought up the company. So the 5 of us, right, some of us did mention our intentions, like, we want to eventually start our companies. And then Ben was like, sure, let me teach you everything I know about running a video production house. Let me empower you with these skills and this knowledge, And then if let's say in 2-3 years you want to go out and do your own thing, please, by all means, I give you my blessing,
Like how old is he? Is he much senior than you guys?
Okay, back then, 6-7 years ago, he was
within your age group, or he was like really more of like a literal mentor?
Groups, I would say within my age group.
Okay.
So maybe he was 5, 6, 7, 8 years my senior.
Okay, that's quite senior.
Yeah, and from there, it got inspired to start my own production house. And then 5 years ago, I started Cinema Verite Pictures, and the rest is kind of like history, wow, that was a very, very long timeline of your question. I hope that answers your question. How did it start, right? Yeah, so in a nutshell.
When it comes to, let's say, your video production agency, right, is there, because to me, there's really a lot of other video production agencies, right? would you say is like the specialty of your agency?
Wow.
I'm just curious, like because it's such like a saturated market in a sense, but
correct.
what from your perspective as as a founder, right? What do you think makes you different from the competition in Singapore?
I like this question because now I am put on the spot.
Oh, okay. No. Like just the thought process of it, because like when you start like this video production, you know it's a competitive one. Like, are there any learnings that Ben taught you in a sense to be successful?
The USP of CVP is really UX. So our user experience in any production has to be of a certain excellence. You know, you need to have that spirit of excellence to really don't treat the client as a money-making cow, but treat them as human. Because these people that we work with, they are either junior marketing execs, junior brand execs, marketing execs, and they are reporting to their boss. So our job is to make their job easy, is to make them look good, so that their boss will be like, hey, good job. And when that happens internally, it will be like, they will tell us, hey, Jeremiah, good job. And then personally, we'll be like, hey, team, good job. So our UX is really our USP, because other production houses out there, they really do it because of revenue generating activities. I'm not trying to diss the industry. I'm just saying it as it is, but it is what it is. So honestly, we are very blessed in CVP to really build very, very deep relationships with clients, and that actually helps us grow our roots, so that our foundation is there. And then it helps, by the way, give us more revenue, which is like a secondary thing that we are looking for. So to answer your question, our USP is really our UX.
When it comes to the UX, right? UX is like a very macro thing, and there are many small components, right, that contribute to this very nice user experience when they work with you guys, right? Could you maybe just like, imagine like I'm a starting videographer, I'm relatively good at what I do, and I just want to improve my UX in a say. It's that small little things that matters, let's say replying within 5 minutes, talking money, all that kind of tricky stuff, right? Could you just break it down like UX? What are the more important things that people should pay attention to that perhaps the industry in general or normal videographers usually don't pay attention to?
Okay, to answer that question specifically, a case study of how we measure our user experience success.
Oh, you guys measure?
I mean, okay, we are very structured in the way we do things.
Okay.
Everything we have a process to break things down. Because when we have a process, we actually know where the fault lies.
You don't leave it to chance that the person has a good user experience, but everything is documented out.
Yes,
so
correct.
That's the first thing, documenting a whole user experience.
Yes, I was about to segue to that. Okay. But yes, you see, right, in a lot of creative industries, they actually don't follow a structured process. They'll be like, okay, a client comes with me with a brief, you know. Okay, so let me ideate for you and then conceptualize and then come up with this idea. And then once the idea is there, they don't have a process to actually have creative ideation. They'll just like spend 1 week, huddling in their little corner, drinking like copious amounts of Red Bull and then writing, and then when they finally have an idea, they give it to the client. And then the client will be like, cool, so what's next? And then these creatives will be like,
I put so much blood and tears into this, and you say just what's next, is it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Now that is actually a very, very dangerous thing, because like I said, the first 3 years when I ran things, it was very from a creative POV. I wanted to, had that very nice shot, must have that sexy lighting, must do good work. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Yes.
But when the business started to grow, right, I had to move from my right brain to my left brain. I needed to be super logical. And the only way to replicate success is if you have a process or a structure to things, Yeah. Because like you said, I don't leave things to chance. That is when I actually reorganize my business strategies, my business structure, and even in the minute details like client comms, like you said, must reply within a certain amount of time. And when you reply, this is the format you follow. Intro, body, outro,
Okay. Like a video.
Yes, exactly, And even like when we get client briefs, we actually have a DNA process or a discovery session where we break down their creative idea, what they want to achieve, into 8 different points. And from these 8 different pointers, we can understand what the client wants to achieve and how we can help them fulfill.
Do you do this process with them?
Of course.
Okay, I see.
So to answer your question, like 15 minutes ago you asked, what makes us different and how we measure our user experience is really through structured processes. We don't like leave everything to chance. And because a lot of our recurring clients, right, they maybe worked with us for 2 years, and then for the 3rd year they think, okay, maybe you know what, CVP is not cheap. Maybe let's try a freelancer, because it's cheaper. I mean, I don't fault them. I understand their processes because they're reporting to the boss, right? So for the 3rd year, they go and work with the freelancer. And then 4th year, they'll be like, hey, Jeremiah, so we did this. It was okay, but it didn't really help us fulfill what we wanted to achieve. So we have this brief for you. Can you help us to salvage this project? And
did they use salvage?
Yes, they literally use the word salvage. And it's not even a one-time thing, It is a few of our clients actually came us back, and then said that because of our process, they know that if we engage CVP, we will be confirmed of this process, this quality, and this output. And expectations are aligned. We don't leave anything to chance.
Can I ask, right, when did you realize that you needed a structure? Like, did this realization happen before you started CVP Group? Or was it something that was painfully learned when you were doing CVP? And after that, oh shit, I realized I need a process. When did you realize that this was an essential part of the UX that CVP has?
Okay.
Was it during Ben's time? Was Ben teaching you that, okay, video production, you need a structure? Was it something that it was taught then? Or when do you had this realization that I need a structure when it comes to liaising with comms and don't leave anything to chance?
I think this actually came to me with 2 projects that we handled.
During your time at CVP?
Yes, in the 2nd and 3rd year.
Oh, relatively young, you would say.
Relatively young. We had 2 very big accounts. I'm not going to name it.
Yeah, of course, don't name it.
One of them actually found loopholes in our T&C.
Oh.
And then because of that, they were like,
wait, I can do this.
Yeah. And then me, and back then it was just like me and 2 interns. Then we were like, shit, we need to
tighten up,
finesse our things. We need to tighten our processes. And then another lesson came in the 3rd year where we actually were on an overseas shoot. And then we were shooting some stuff for ourselves, for CVP. And then client side found out and they were like, you're on a paid shoot, why are you shooting for yourselves? And then became a whole legal thing. They actually sent us a legal document and then we were just like,
shit. Oh,
the legal document wasn't really like, oh, we're going to sue you and blah, blah, blah. It was just like reminding us that we are bound by certain confidentialities and stuff. And then that really was a wake-up lesson for me, in terms of, okay, if we are to make clients happy, we need to black and white every single thing that we do, And from the start, we need to align expectations so that they will understand we do what we do, how we do it, and then the final outcomes and deliverables. So since then, I would say that we have built and amassed a very, very nice list of clients which you have, proudly name drop. Thank you so much. I don't have to do it myself, and it's really because of the team. As a founder, what I did was really just, okay, let's spend maybe 1 month to finesse all our structures, SOPs and everything, give it to the team, and then let the team run it. So it's really the team that has built CVP to where it is today. I am just a cheerleader, seriously, cheering them on. Yeah, go, go, go. Yeah.
On a day-to-day basis, right, because you're the founder, you're looking more in terms of the macro perspective, right? On a day-to-day basis, what occupies your time? Are you mainly involved in biz dev? I don't think you're involved in shoots as well. Like, you don't used to be on the ground as much as you used to, but of course you had that experience.
Yep.
But on a day-to-day basis as a founder, what do you basically do?
In terms of day-to-day stuff, I know I've taken myself out of actually a lot of the day-to-day operations.
You need to.
Yeah. Because a wise person once told me, right, that for a business owner, you need to be on the business and not in the business, right?
Yeah.
So I've been, like I said, I've been really blessed to meet good people, hire good team members, acquire smaller production houses to join me. And I no longer shoot, I no longer edit, I no longer direct even. Day to day, I'm literally just on LinkedIn connecting with people like you.
Oh, okay.
You know, making friends and being an ambassador and cheerleader for my brand.
Oh, okay.
You know, for my brand.
I see.
And really to... sounds a bit cultish, but to spread the gospel of CVP.
I mean, that's a part of the process.
It is. And really it is, for me, it is a different kind of management. Because in the past, I was always managing productions. You know, that was my field of expertise where I was super comfortable in doing production managing and all that. But now it's managing people. Because I have a team of 10, Singapore, in Hong Kong is like 6, Japan 8, and it's a different ballgame altogether, you know, because people are individuals. You know, humans being humans are humans, you know, and there is no SOP or structure to impose to deal with this certain, you know, intricacies of being a human being.
Yeah.
You know,
there are a million outcomes that could come
exactly.
from a human being.
Yeah, for productions is like I said, A, B, C to get D outcome. But for humans, A, but then you go A.2 and then 0.3 then times to the power of infinity and then, you know, and then it's just like, wow. So right now, to answer your question again, I know I like all over the place, but to answer your question, day to day, I'm really just cheerleading for the team and also building the brand experience for CVP itself. So in CVP, one of the other things that we do that is very different from other creative agencies, but not, I would say I draw a lot of inspiration from VaynerMedia because what VaynerMedia does is to treat itself like a publisher of content. So in Singapore, there are 500 other production houses or creative video executors, content creators, but they always work on client commission work, you know, because it's their bread and butter. So they don't really engage in brand building activities.
But for themselves.
Exactly, for themselves. So in the beginning of this year itself, we decided to, actually last year, April, we actually pushed out this series called Just Fuck It. Just FAQ
I saw it.
And basically it's to answer questions from industry, from client side, or from anyone in general about video production and all that and we pushed it out. It's an April Fool's joke, and the marketing industry actually loved it. You know, people like Megan Yuga, Neil Moore, they were just like, fuck yeah, this is amazing. Yeah. Keep doing it, you know? Yeah. And then we also had clients coming to us and saying, hey, so I saw what you did with that. Can you replicate and do it for my own company as a form of content marketing? And I was just like, if we can see ourselves as a publisher of native CVP content and people like it, okay. Then we package it and then sell it to clients. You know, so from Just Fuck It, we actually started It's a Wrap, which is weekly highlights of whatever happens in CVP itself. It's almost like a vanity blog of BTS of whatever we are doing, works that we've done and also videos we've seen. But the most important thing is dissecting videos we've seen so that we can value add back to the industry. It's not just like any highlight or wrap up. That also is good because it actually builds on internal culture. You know, people who actually sent in a CV into our hello@cvp-group.com email, and they're like, hey, so I saw your It's a Wrap. It's almost like I know you guys. You know, I see week in, week out, and I see the different people that you champion, the different colleagues, you know, talking, and it's like, I want to work with you guys, you know, because your culture seems like legit, and it's a place I can see myself growing. And then I was like, okay, that's interesting. It works as a internal brand culture cultivating kind of activity. And then from there, we decided to move into podcasting, which is what we are doing right now. You know, I'm learning from you, man, JJ. I'm learning
so after this, you're actually going to do a podcast for him on his. So yes. I think it'll be quite interesting. Moving on to the next chapter, I just want to talk to you about education. You as a practitioner, at the same time teaching others. And can you share more about your experience in teaching? You would say students at med school.
Yeah. So
how did your teaching career started?
Shit, man, that is a That actually came because of the content marketing activities that we're doing for
Within
CVP.
CVP. Okay, everything ties in together.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's definitely working.
Yeah. So when we did Just Fuck It, and then It's a Wrap, it got noticed within the industry because I'm always...
You're very connected, obviously.
No lah.
Yeah, you're obviously very connected. I mean, being in this, like serving clients, and after a while, you build a reputation for yourself.
That's true. I mean, being a thought leader, being a key opinion leader, influencer, business influencer.
I mean, it's part it's part of it. I don't see many production houses doing it.
Exactly.
As well, because I'm not in this industry, and it's just how the LinkedIn algorithm works in a sense whereby you
Correct.
like you see post of your collections who does anything on LinkedIn. So I think that's quite fascinating as well. But back to how did you start your teaching career? Like, was it a school that approached you, or like how did that thing go? Or teaching was something that you always wanted to do?
No, man. Teaching was something I never ever saw myself doing.
Okay.
So, like I mentioned previously, I actually drew a lot of inspiration from
VaynerMedia.
Yes.
I wouldn't say VaynerMedia, but more of Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah.
Gary V, he was doing a lot of content, and I thought we should use that same exact model and then replicate within CVP itself, so that when clients see us, they'll see us as not just an executor of content, but a creator of content, So like I said, when we did Just Fuck It, and then It's a Wrap, Matt actually reached out to me like, hey, so we've seen you've been doing, a lot of content marketing for CVP Group itself, and would you be interested, to do like a quick 3-month module on content marketing and video productions?
How do you first connect with them?
They actually dropped me a call.
Oh, that's
they got my contact from some LinkedIn, I think.
LinkedIn, okay.
Because all my information is out there, and they dropped a call. I was actually waiting for some of the crew filming at Suntec, and then they dropped me a call and just like, chit chat, and I told them, okay, I'll think about it. Okay, so I never saw myself as a teacher, and I never saw myself as being someone to share knowledge. But then another wise person once told me that teaching is actually also another avenue for talent scouting. Finding people who are attuned with your culture and basically pushing your brand out in a different form. So I was okay just try I mean, how hard can it be?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't a 3-month. I mean, on paper it's 12 weeks.
Yeah.
But these 12 weeks lasted 5 months. And I literally just had my last lesson this week, Thursday.
Oh.
Which was so sad. It was a class of 24, but then slowly it dropped to 22 and it was difficult, man. So, oh my gosh. Firstly, the difficulty came in curating the content, lesson plans. Then I was just like, I do this day in, day out. I'm so good at it, but oh my God, documenting it into a lesson plan, 12-week lesson plan with a lesson outcome, I'm just like,
sweating
yes, learning objectives, assignments, percentages, moderating, and I'm just like, WTF, man, this is not my area of expertise. But I'm very, very blessed because my executive producer, now the secret is out. My executive producer actually planned the entire 12-week outcome lesson plans for me. And every week before lesson, I will go through with her, and then I'll Thursday.
What you're supposed to teach.
And then Thursday night I'll just go and then teach the class. But then honestly, right, in terms of that's how it started But first day it was daunting. Second day still daunting.
What's so daunting about it?
It's like the proximity, because I've done talks to in terms of hundreds of people before, but then there is this distance: stage, speaker, audience.
Yeah.
But this is a 22-seater classroom.
Intimate.
Exactly. And my students are literally just across me like that,
Yeah.
So it's not that I have a phobia of closeness, but then it's a very different ballgame because you're no longer talking to a crowd. It's very intimate. It's almost like having a conversation right now, like what we're doing in this podcast. So the daunting thing to me was, A, conversation, teaching. B, am I even teaching the right thing? C, oh my God, what if I'm teaching the wrong thing? D, what if I affect their outcomes and their personal growth.
Think too much.
Yeah. I'm an overthinker by nature.
okay.
But because you see, right, these students, they are not fresh grads, they're actually in this course. The diploma is like a diploma in digital marketing, but my module is just one of the many modules they have on content marketing. And they're actually working adults.
Oh, okay.
They are in this program to further their
The upgrade, upskill.
to upskill, to upgrade, and then use this knowledge that they acquire to maybe find a better job. And you know how stressful that is.
That's a big responsibility.
Their blood is in my hands, If
Yeah,
I teach
yeah.
them the wrong thing, they go out and then they execute. They'll be like, "Oh my god, I just spent X amount of dollars to do this diploma, and then I come out, I'm not even better than I was before." So that was the daunting thing. Yeah, it was really a very, very big burden for me. But then, okay, not trying to boost my ego, but every time after every lesson, there will be always students coming back to ask me more questions. And then in these 5 months, I've built like very close relationships with students. Okay, not romantic relationships, but really they keep asking me like, "Hey, so
More
this
of a
is..."
mentoring relationship.
Yeah, mentoring relationship. And then, oh my god, I never saw myself as a mentor. What the heck? So
Why
this
not?
is a different, like from creator to business owner to teacher to mentor.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, in this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm like attaining self-enlightenment
Yeah,
already,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
No, but it's a very humbling experience because I learn more from the students as opposed to them learning from me.
What do you learn from them?
Wow. Their last presentation from the 12 weeks culminated in a content marketing presentation pitch that they're supposed to pitch to 6 brands. I mean, it's a bogus relationship, but that was my learning outcome. And one thing that one of the students actually said during the presentation was, when you do things, don't ask for permission. You can ask for forgiveness, but you don't need anyone's permission to execute. I don't know, then when I was like, wow, that is some hardcore high-level Confucius shit, man. Then I was like, that's nice. Which is very like in tune to VaynerMedia, Whenever you do something, just do it first. Do, and then review the results. A/B test, and then change if you need a different outcome. But other than that, I've also learned a lot from the students in terms of how I run my own business also, because they have a lot of different ways, because they are looking at marketing and content marketing from a fresh perspective, fresh pairs of eyes. So yeah, man, I learned a lot.
Are you continuing to teach?
Well,
or would you see yourself being a teacher in the next part of your career as well?
Wow.
I have the assumption that you had enjoyed what you did.
I did definitely I did enjoy. After the class on Thursday last week, the school actually asked me, "So Jeremiah, are you willing to teach another module, TV productions, on top of content marketing, plus a 2-day course in conjunction with WSG and Skills Future?" Then I was like, the fuck, bro? I just did this for fun, and then now you ask me to teach 3 modules.
Yeah.
Then I told them, I was upright and frank. I'm like, I still need to run my business. But they were like, yeah, but the students gave you like raving reviews. Then I was like, wow, very humbling experience. So
sometime in the future, definitely.
Maybe lah.
Maybe.
But it's
a different ball game.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Eventually, when the business kicks off, maybe I can really take myself out of the business, be a legit ambassador, and then do other things to spread the CVP gospel, the cult of CVP.
Okay.
No lah, but I mean the future is que sera, whatever will be. The future's not up. But I mean, one of the mantras I live by is that you are an architect of your life, and you tailor the future, and you craft it to be what you want it to be lah. So yeah, man, if teaching is something that the universe is telling me to do, okay, man, then just go for it. But I don't know, man. See how it goes.
Okay, moving on to the last part of the podcast.
Alright, man, let's do it.
Just a generic question, right?
Yes.
Are there any kind of could you tell me a story of the most exciting client you have worked with? I'm not sure if you're allowed to divulge client-specific details, but could you just tell me, just one of the most exciting stories that you had in your time in this industry?
Okay.
And perhaps lessons from it as well.
Wow, this is a tough one. All my projects are exciting.
I'm sure that's true. I think I empathize with that, but I'm sure there's one that comes to mind, or maybe the top 2 or top 3 that comes to mind.
That's the politically right answer to say lah. You know, people are watching this.
Yeah.
But I think the most exciting one, in terms of, not for me, but really for the team, was when back then when I was in Abundant Productions, we did a project with STB lah, and I got to know one of the, I would say, marketing people from STB, but that was like 7 years ago. But then last year lah, 2019, that person went on to online e-commerce retail brand.
Was it still with STB?
No.
Oh no,
she went somewhere else already lah. Then she was like, "Hey, so Jeremiah, we are doing this campaign with these objectives and expected outcomes. Are you guys able to execute lah?" The thing is, it's a live telecast, and the assets that we gather from the live telecast, 3 days later we need to publish. Then I was like, "Sure, man." Circles.Life has trained me well because
why did Circles? Okay.
All of Megan's productions is always, "Hey Jeremiah, so I have this idea. We want to publish in 1 week's time." Then I'm just like, "Okay, let's do it, man." And
I see.
Yeah, so I told her, "Ken, but these are the parameters we need to live by to be able to achieve your expected objective and outcome lah, for us to fulfill, because like I said, process, SOP, we need to manage expectations and align from the start." So okay, we did it, and this live telecast was like a few different countries: Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, right? Gather all together, and then my editor, actually all my editors, Ijam, Wesley, and Nicholas, all were part of it because it was super put all the assets together, all the footage together, and then 3 days later gave the draft to the brand itself, and they were like, "Oh wow, this is amazing." And when they said it was amazing, we were like, "Really? Okay."
Wait, why do you have that doubt?
No, because sometimes when you know the super famous creative thing, good, fast, cheap.
Oh yes, yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You want it fast, you want it good, it won't be cheap.
Yeah.
But if you want it good and cheap, it won't be fast. But we surprised ourselves, shocked ourselves. We did all the animations, we put all the assets together, and we formed like a coherent narrative for this PR sizzle reel. Sent it to them, and they were damn happy. Their CEO level was damn happy. Their group MD was damn happy. Just needed to finance a bit, and then it was blasted out.
Within 3 days.
Yeah, for the 11/11 singles, and it was blasted out in a mega China event because the parent company is Chinese based. I don't know, I feel I'm giving a lot of things away already. Oh my god. No, but it was a really humbling experience because the team really put together. I wasn't even part of this project, I feel FOMO, but
yeah.
No,
but to see a team manage this project so efficiently by
Exactly.
themselves in that sense, without you interjecting so much, right? It gives you a lot of fulfillment. That's interesting.
Yeah. I literally was in zero part of the entire production process. Hasif and Mel, my producer and executive producer, helmed everything, put everything together, passed all the footage to the post-production team, put it out, and then I was just like, wow, this is the outcome of autonomy and empowerment, which is part of the 3 pillars in CVP, which is culture, behavior, and then outputs. So the culture in CVP was really, you know what? Let's get shit done, stop whining like a little baby, and then let's champion our clients and make their success be our success, So it was really, to answer your question, that was really a very heartening experience for me as an owner to see the team really and powering through and then achieving something that is, because Ijam, my editor, he was just like, when he found out it was shown, to like millions of viewers in China, he was just like, wow, highlight of his career, and then I was just like, this is good stuff.
Interesting. Thanks so much for sharing everything, right?
My pleasure.
Moving on to the ending of the podcast, right? Just a short few questions. The best advice you have ever received in your career?
Oh, okay. So early in my career, right, this business owner actually told me that business is never sentimental. That's, I would say, the best advice I've ever gotten.
The worst advice you've ever received?
The worst advice, No, man. I don't think I've any advice to me is it might not be great, but it's still a learning process. So I wouldn't say I've ever gotten any worst advice.
That's interesting. 1 year from now, what tangible events would you want to happen to CVP that would make it the best year for the company?
Okay, regional expansion, man. Setting up sales offices, more sales offices overseas, and being like how Uncle Sebastian from Shooting Gallery does it, and how Ben Xiao from Abundant Productions does it. Expanding their company lah. That would be the goal, man.
Okay, Jeremiah, thanks so much for taking the time to come on this podcast, right? If there are any listeners that are interested to reach out to you, which platforms are you most active on?
LinkedIn, man.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, boy. I'm super... if you need to reach me on WhatsApp, you can also drop me a WhatsApp lah.
What's the
880-88692. You know, Gary V always does that. Puts the...
You need a jacket.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, his number is over here.
Yeah.
880-88692. Just reach out, chit chat with me. Let's have coffee, tea, or bubble tea lah.
Okay, thanks so much.